Hello, everybody. Welcome to Next Door Foundation's Black Excellence Month 2022 virtual program. Give yourself some claps and snaps wherever you are right now. Give yourself some snaps and claps for tuning in and being here with us today. My name is Brother Butler, and it is a pleasure to be here today for multiple reasons. My son used to go to Next Door Foundation when he was younger. I have a niece who came up through the Next Door Foundation on 29th Street. I have family who works for Next Door Foundation. And so it's just honestly a pleasure to watch Next Door sow into the community, especially around this time of the year and everything Next Door has going on with books and literacy and just building the brain power of children. So I'm gonna ask for one more round of applause, claps and snaps for Next Door Foundation. Give it up for Next Door Foundation, y'all, for being a great organization. As I said, my name is Brother Butler, and today we're going to dive right in. We're going to talk about 3 different ways we communicate in traditional African history and in traditional African culture. One of those ways is through the drums. One of those ways is through written history. And the third way is through oral history, right? So we have our drums, we have our written word, and we have our spoken word. So right now you see a couple of drums here with me, and we're going to have fun today, making a little bit of noise, and I'm going to need a little bit of participation from you all out there in virtual land. So be expecting for a little bit of instructions so we can have some fun today. And if we are ready to go, I'm going to give our thumbs up and we're going to dive right in. This drum is called a djembe. It's called a djembe. D-J-E M-B-E, djembe. And these drums traditionally come from West Africa, places like Senegal, places like Mali. And the drums are so important to culture and to Black culture and to African culture specifically because it's used for communication and various forms of celebration as well. The drum has different patterns and rhythms that symbolize love and marriage, that can symbolize a birthday celebration. It could symbolize a change in the politicians at the time or the kings and queens at the time. It may symbolize sadder things like funerals and mourning. They could also symbolize things like war. If the encroaching enemy was getting close, and you would have the warriors bang those war drums, and that would symbolize everybody, hey, it's time to get down with the get down. But today we're going to just talk about a few different patterns that we use to make our music with drumming. It's a pretty easy concept like anything else. Once you learn the basics of it, then you can kind of build on those basics and you become more fluent with it. And the more that you practice, the more that you train with it. So we got 4 patterns that we're going to learn today. 4 patterns. And again, these basic 4 patterns are going to take us to another level as we make music. Our first pattern or our first tone is called bass. You hear that deepness? That's that bass. All right, that bass is what carries. That's like your heartbeat, right? So when you got that bass going, you got to keep that in mind, that that's the heartbeat. That's going to keep our rhythm. That's going to keep us flowing, right? Then you have what's called song, and that's generally done with your fingers close together. So not spread out like this, not cupped together like this. Here, you ain't gonna make no music like that, but have those fingers nice and tight together, those primary 4 fingers. All right. Okay. The next one, we spread those fingers out a little bit. Now, you don't want to stretch your hand out like this, right? When you're hitting the drum, you're going to break your finger or something like this. But just loosen your hands up. Let those fingers spread out a little bit. All right. And the last one is called variation. It's called variation. Super simple. And it's using your fingertips like that. It ain't about making the loudest noise, but I'm going to show you why those variations are real important. So again, let's go over those tones again. Bass, song, slap, variation. Bass, song, slap, variation. Bass, song, slap, variation. Boom. I think y'all got it at this point, right? So we're going to play a couple of different rhythms, and then I'm going to give y'all some directions on how we can interact and we can hang out and play together with this musical thing that we got going on. Because making sounds and making music is not always about the drums. We can use our body parts, right? We can stomp our feet. We can sing. We can do all of these different things to make sound, make music, and make joyful noise. But nonetheless, here is a very basic rhythm where you can hear all of the different tonations, and then I'll add in the variation at the very end, and you'll see how that plays a role, just using your small fingertips like that, all right? right, all right. Now that's just, so I'm just getting myself warmed up here. Y'all, I ain't gonna flex too hard on y'all on the virtual program today, but just giving a small idea of what that accompaniment sounds like with the different tonations. Now, I'm gonna play a small rhythm without the variation, and then we'll add variation in so we can see how that energy sounds and how that makes sense to the whole accompaniment. So let's say we're doing a basic rhythm like, okay? Now let's add the variation with that fingertip action. No variation. Variation. All right, so that is our djembe. I love playing djembes. I've been playing it since I was a little kid. But I have another drum here to my left. This is called a conga. And these drums are traditionally played in the Caribbean islands like Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Trinidad, so on and so forth, right? These are drums that they play in the island areas and it has such a smooth tone to it. Same pattern, same tones, but such a different sound to it, all right? Bass, song, slap, variation. Bass, song, slap, variation. Put it all together. Okay, and sometimes you can mix the two up. Why not show out a little bit? It's 2022. Why not add a little bit of razzle dazzle on everything that you do and combine it all together? Yes? There you have our first form of communication that we come to talk about today, and that is sound communication through noise, communication through drumming, traditional West African and Caribbean drumming. Now, the next piece we have is going to deal with the written and the oral tradition of storytelling in African culture. We're going to take a pause for the cause, and the next time you see this face, we're going to be reading some books, y'all, so stay tuned. Hey again, everybody. I hope that you all enjoy making noise. I hope that you're learning about the African drums and the culture and the history of the communication through drums was a dope and amazing experience. I hope y'all had fun. Now we're going to move to the second and the third piece of our communication through African culture today, and that's through oral tradition and oral speaking, as well as written word or books or poetry or playwriting. Today, we're going to talk and read from 2 children's books that I wrote myself. Yes, y'all, I wrote children's books. I have 4 children's books. Today, we're just going to read from 2 of them. And I love these books. They were my first one, and they came out in 2020. And they are called Destined to Be Me. We have one for young ladies and one for the young men as well. So we're going to read a couple excerpts from these books here, and I just have some other dope, amazing books on display. I love because readers are leaders, and the more you know, the more you grow. So, with that being said, here is Destined to Be Me by Ajamou Butler. And we won't read every poem in here. We're just going to skim through a little bit. I hope that you all were able to receive your package and get your copies of these amazing books. But our first poem is going to be called My Crown. My hair grows, aiming at the sun. My curls dance around my head. My curls are having so much fun. My nappy roots tell a story of riches and glory. I love what's on my head. Knowledge of self teaches me that I am a queen. Love your hair no matter what. That's what my mommy said to me. Afros, locks, cornrows nonstop. My hair grows, aiming at the sun. My curls dance around my head. My curls are having so much fun. And then you got the little girl. She got her crown on and she got the sun shining on her with her beautiful self. All right, let's see what is another one we can read and skip to. This is a good one. When I grow up. When I grow up, what a great woman I'll be. I will be educated and bold, and I will succeed. When I grow up, I will travel the globe. When I grow up, I will own my own businesses and homes. When I grow up, I might become a politician or a biologist and study plants. I am unstoppable. When I grow up, I will stick to my successful plan when I grow up. Oh, that's so dope. I just love the power in words. And I'll read one more from this book, and this one is called I Am. And these books are all about speaking positivity to yourself. So if you hear these words, I want you to really understand and soak in the words of these books. I am. I am a warrior like Rosa Parks. I am a queen like Nefertiti. I am happy and I love myself from my hair to my feet. I am a daughter. I am a friend. I am a scholar indeed. I am a child of God who can overcome anything. I am perfectly me. And that's destined to be me for girls. Let's switch the pace up and let's see what we got for our young brothers. Let's see what we got for our young men. The next poem we're going to read from Destined to Be Me for our young boys is called I Love My Skin. I love my skin. I'm a caramel king. I love my blackness, yes indeed. My parents always tell me that the sun has kissed my skin. They even taught me all about the richness of my melanin. They say my hair is divine and tell me I should love my color because it's uniquely mine. I love my skin because I am a chocolate-colored king. I love my blackness, yes indeed. And I love that picture there, just rocking his crown, just so royal and just kingly. I love it. This piece is called My Mom is the Best. My mom is the best. She is so kind. She makes sure we are safe and she always gets me to school on time. I love my mom. She is so funny. When I do my chores without her asking, she always gives me money. My mom is so smart and she has a huge heart. My mom always draws with me because she loves art. My mom is the best. She is so kind. I have met a lot of moms, but none like mine. And then look at the picture. I love they gaps. They so cute. They so cute. So we're going to read one more from this book before we wrap up my portion of our presentation today. And this poem is called I Love My Daddy. My daddy told me that we are kings. My daddy told me that I can grow up and do anything. My daddy told me to always be kind. My daddy reads to me a lot. He says it'll help strengthen my mind. My daddy has locks just like me. My daddy is a great cook because he knows my family likes to eat. My daddy is my friend. He keeps me safe. My daddy keeps a smile on my face. My daddy told me that we are kings. My daddy told me that I can grow up and do anything. And there you have it, guys. Those are a few excerpts from Destined to Be Me. And I hope that you enjoyed the rest of this virtual Black History program. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye.